you all for being here. I'm co-founder and president of By Heart. We are kicking off the second annual By Heart Feed Fest. So many of you were at Feed Fest last year. Today kicks off our virtual summit, which is on Friday. So everyone tune in. We have panels and discussions about the ups and downs and chaos of parenthood. We started Feed Fest because when we tell our own stories about the craziness of parenthood and feeding, it makes each of us feel less alone, and it's really a resource to parents. And we want to be a source of support and information and really community, and help parents feel like we're in it together and we're getting through it together. So today kicks that off. We have an incredible group of panelists up here with us today, and we're kicking off with Real Talk, which is a game show style game where we have 4 categories, and our panelists will choose a category, and then we have a couple questions for each. And just like parenthood, we're going to wing it and figure it out as we go. And we're just going to have fun with it. So thank you so much for being here with us. I'm here with friends of By Heart, customers of By Heart, and just parents that we really admire for getting real about parenthood and just inspiring us with all the great stories of their own experiences. So we have Jerry O'Connell.
Hey everybody, Jerry O'Connell, father of 2 13-year-old girls. Unfortunately, I did not have By Heart when they were feeding. Thought I was doing the fancy thing by going to an expensive supermarket and buying what I thought was high-end organic stuff, only to find out after my research here and researching By Heart that it was made by the same company that they were selling it everywhere else. And
no, you did great. You did great.
I wish I had the Feed Fest because we had no freaking idea what we were doing.
We have Allyson Felix. Thank you. Jamie Chung and Bryan Greenberg.
There they are.
I'm a fangirl of all of theirs, so I'm very starstruck to be up here today with them.
You also have an assistant. I mean, you should probably introduce
and
your assistant here.
I have my assistant here, Mia Funt.
Mia, doing a great job.
All right, so we are going to kick off, and we have some sound effects tonight. If you go too long, you might hear a certain sound.
Uh-oh.
Is it a baby crying? Because I can't handle that. I can't.
Or if you get answers wrong, you might have sound effects. So we're gonna make it fun. All right, so let's kick off.
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. No buzzers?
All right, our 4 categories are getting your baby fed, so much shit,
So much.
story time, and life with twins, because we have a lot of twin parents up here. All right, so Jerry, start us off. What category would you like?
Let's start with so much S word.
All
Before
right.
the food comes out.
Which is
I think
also
that's
life with
appropriate.
twins.
Yeah, exactly. So as we know, babies go through a lot of diapers. In 3 minutes, can you share with us the grossest diaper changing story that sticks with you?
I'm so sorry, everyone. Just as the kale salad is being served, looks amazing. Mandarin in there. The grossest. I think anyone who is a parent in here knows and is familiar with neck poop. And when I say neck poop, that's where typically you are driving somewhere. So you are driving and your child is in the back in a car seat and there is an explosion. And the explosion happens. I'm not an engineer at all, but something happens with gravity and the force that you pull over and you get ready to clean up on aisle 3, and it's sort of a realization. It's a rite of passage as a parent because you're like, well, I've seen poop on people's legs. I've seen poop on people's hands. This is incredible. There is poop on the back of the neck of someone. So that was like that was it was an epiphany for me that parenthood was going to be nothing like I had ever experienced in my life. So I would say neck poop.
In there.
I like it. Yeah. Thank you. Very enlightening. I feel you. Allison, what category?
Let's do getting your baby fed.
All right. Well, Allison, you're very open about how your daughter, Cameron, was born 3 pounds and 7 ounces and spent the first few months in the NICU. We're so grateful that you've shared that story really openly and that she is now thriving. And so the question is really the chaos of that situation will throw any feeding plan into will throw any feeding plan out the window. And so in 3 minutes, can you share with us how you had to adjust and pivot your feeding plan?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think no surprise, I'm a planner. Like I need everything laid out like a lot of athletes. And so I had like, what I thought was my perfect plan and what's going to happen. And of course, nothing went according to that at all. So we found ourselves in the NICU for a long time. And right away, my plan was to breastfeed. And that's, what I wanted to do. And being in the NICU, you're there around the clock. And so I found myself having to pump. And I felt like people never really like talked too much about this. But when you're in the NICU, the amount that you have to pump is crazy. So I was pumping every 3 hours, eight times a day. And I felt like that's all I existed to do. I literally pumped and, we would get to take our baby out of the incubator, every so often, and I got to breastfeed. But it was just a whole different experience than what I had planned. And I think just having to be flexible as parents. You come in with this thought of what it's going to be and what life is going to be like, and then you have to be ready for whatever comes your way. And the NICU nurses were a godsend, and it was amazing, and we made it through that time period. But yeah, definitely it was not what I thought it was going to be at all, and it was a lot of work. I felt like, it was like it's a full-time job to be doing that. And that's something that I didn't expect, but.
And no one prepares you for that.
No, I don't think there's anything that you can do to be prepared for that. Sometimes you just gotta be thrown into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing that story. Yeah. All right, Jamie, you're up.
All right. I'll do life with twins, please. I think it's because we're standing too close to each other.
Yeah. All right. So it's said that 40% of twins invent their own language, which I didn't know. So tell us a story about your twins and their secret language.
Well, it's a lot of physical. It's like some sign language. It's mimicking, but I think the best is when we look on our Nanit, and it's 5 a.m. We can hear them talking, but they're just like that. It's like toddler talk now, but and it's pretty dark, but you can see them both, and they're both facing each other in the crib,
Yeah.
and they're mimicking each other's actions. Like one's like, nah, and then the other one's like, nah, and it's the cutest thing. Or they're trying to hold hands with each other, but they are really starting to connect with each other at this age, and it's so fun to watch. But they'll just copy anything you do, and that just stays with them. So
Sounds like a party.
yeah, it's a chaotic party, but it's yeah, it goes on all night.
Sounds fun, but I'm sure,
It's
that's
exhausting.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Pretty fun and astonishing on those cams to watch, because I am also the parent of twins, watching them learn how to escape from cribs
Oh,
that
that
are
hasn't
around.
happened yet.
And it really is, it's some of the most riveting programming I've ever seen. I mean, honestly, if By Heart gets into like the media world and stuff, this is actually a pretty cool show. It could
I
be
think so.
By Heart Escape,
Jailbreak.
jailbreak, and it's watching your child, and you're kind of weirdly proud of them because you're like, you're getting out,
So proud.
you're doing it. I've taken every precaution here, and you're doing it, which is good if they're ever
The problem solved.
imprisoned.
Yeah.
I mean, things happen.
Gives you confidence as a dad that they'll be okay no matter what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you hope your children are not imprisoned. That's like the goal, you know?
They'll get out.
But if they are,
They'll find a
they have a chance.
way. Yeah.
I love it. Great call.
I ran out of time. I'm sorry about that. It wasn't even my
It's a very
turn.
polite sound.
All right, Brian, you're up.
I guess I'll take story
Oh,
All
I can't
right.
wait.
time.
Story time.
Yeah.
All right, so the theme of tonight is just the chaos of parenthood.
Right.
What is the most chaotic story of being a new parent that you can reflect on? And how did kind of the chaos help you actually settle into parenthood?
I mean, we have twins, so it's every day is chaos. We wake up before you have coffee, it's just chaos. So it's kind of hard to pick just one, but what do we think?
I would say no sleep. This is Jeopardy, honey. You have to
Oh.
answer your own question.
What is doing a road trip to San Francisco and in a Tesla for 10 hours?
Worst idea ever.
That was probably my definition of chaos. Thank you. Did I win? Because I felt like I lost that day.
Yeah, road trips used to be so romantic and fun.
Nope.
They
Don't
have
ever do it.
transformed.
Yeah,
Terrible
I mean,
idea.
It's like you said in the beginning. It's just you got to roll with it. It's all crazy, and the more you fight it, the worse it is. So just get ready. Just strap yourself on and just embrace the chaos. But yeah, every day it's insanity. I don't know how we're even standing here today.
Don't know. Caffeine doesn't work.
Jerry, you're up.
Oh gosh.
Am I allowed to elaborate on that, or should I choose another? You know what? I'm going to go with getting your baby fed.
Okay.
All right. So before baby actually arrives, you have a whole plan. You
Sure.
have preset expectations of how you want to feed.
Sure.
In 2 minutes, what did you think was the plan to feed your baby, and then what actually happened?
Planning to feed our babies, I was shocked. I couldn't believe there are breast pump rental houses. I had been to, I rented cars. I had rented movies, DVDs, homes, boats, paddle boats, motorcycles. I couldn't believe you go to a place and you rent a breast pump and you choose a model and everything. I mean, it's a whole industry. I would say the shadiest thing I did during the feeding process was we had twins. My wife had a plan to breastfeed for the first 6 months. So not incorporating any formula. And it stressed my wife out a lot. It was causing a tremendous amount of stress in our household. I'm sure if you heard earlier what everyone was saying, if you have twins, newborn twins, in what was already a kind of stressful situation, there was an expectation that my wife was putting on herself to produce nourishment, and it was pretty insane. And my wife started working after 3 months of giving birth, so there was shuttling and freezing. I once dropped breast milk. Hold on a second, I'm not done. I'm going to thank the Academy as well. There was an instance where I dropped breast milk, and I thought there was going to be violence used on me. There was. Getting weird now. No, but I actually I made the call to incorporate a little bit of formula also into that into their feeding schedule, and I think my wife would have felt a lot better if By Heart had been around 13 years ago. I said earlier I had to go to a fancy supermarket, and I thought I was buying organic and doing the right thing, but that's a pretty shady thing to do, but it had to be done because when babies are hungry, they have a pretty easy way of letting you know that.
Yeah. Well said. How are we doing?
Thank you. And please don't tell my wife I did that, everyone. Jokes. We've talked about it in therapy.
Allison, you're up. What category?
We do story time.
All right. So, tell us, what is one visceral reaction you've had as a parent? We've all had those moments when you really couldn't hold back your reaction. Something happens and you just have to react even though you shouldn't. Tell us.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of moments like that. I'm trying to think. Well, I do remember being in my daughter's nursery and feeding her, and then, you go and wait to do the burp and everything. And I think I had done the burp. I thought it had happened, but I'm still like a new mom who, I don't know, am I doing this right? And I'm also like very sleep deprived, which is just a whole nother level of all of it. So I remember I thought I'd done the burp, and then so like I'm going to lift Cammie up to put her in her crib. And then all of a sudden, there's just all of this, I say spit up, but it seemed like, what's next after spit up? Like, there was a lot of it. And it was coming straight at my face. And for the first time, I love my baby. But this was a lot. This was a whole situation. And yeah, I kind of took it personally. But it was just kind of a reaction of, wow, this is a lot. Let me safely put her down for a second. But I was literally like covered everywhere. And I just kind of pondered and thought, wow, life comes at you fast. 1 second you're at the Olympics and you're winning medals, and then you're cleaning up, spit up, and all whatever else was on my face. But I think I kept it together. It wasn't too bad. I didn't drop her or anything like that. But I think I did shout or a little, some words, a little bit. But yeah, it was a thing.
I love it. The what is my life moment.
This conversation brings back so many bad memories. I know I'll have to pick a question, but we were at a friend's house and we're like, we're gonna take the kids out to a dinner, a friend's house. It's safe, it's easy. It's 4, we're good. We'll feed them.
This is like we're trying to like maintain
trying to live our lives. That was silly. And so we're at our friend's house and we just fed them and we're changing one diaper. We take them to a friend's bathroom and one's changing. And Elliot just projectile vomits it's the milk, it's the formula. It's everywhere and it's this beautiful house and we don't have anything to wipe it up with. So I think Bryan took off one of his shirts and was like wiping the floor. It was just, yeah.
Came out, I was like, can I have a shirt?
Yeah,
and,
that's
I'm really sorry about your bathroom.
That was one of the memories of spit up. But it was just like an incredible amount that it's unbelievable that it came from this one little baby, but it was just everywhere. Yeah.
How Powerful little
Yeah.
creatures.
They're yeah, they're very powerful.
It's like a scene in Stand By Me. Had to do it. Had to do it.
Had to do it.
Everyone's
Had to
got.
do it.
I'm so sorry. Again, please enjoy your main courses as they come out. But everyone's got a vomit story.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And I gotta tell mine really quickly. I know it's not part of the category. But I had a child who was ill. I'm sorry. You can bring out the meat. Yeah, you can bring it out. Did someone get the fish? I was sleeping with my child who was ill, and we had a bucket, and my daughter sort of sat up, and I was like, okay, listen, here's the bucket, and I was holding the bucket like right next to her. And she went, no, I'm okay. And so we like laid back down, and we were laying back down, and then she sat up immediately, and then she whipped the blanket off, and I went, okay, she's going to get the bucket, and she leaned over me, and I was shirtless. I was wearing pants, but I was like shirtless. I was laying in bed, and she vomited right just on my chest, just right there. And it was happening. And I remember being like, and it was happening. And then it stopped, and I was laying there. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe if I didn't move so much, maybe the vomit that had collected just in my throat there wouldn't go into the mattress. And I was like, oh. And then my daughter went, oh, oh, and oh. And it just happened over and over again. And that was, for me, that was one of the most intense moments. It was crazy.
My mouth is watering just listening to this story.
I'm so sorry, but I mean, these are the topics. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Like a beautiful skin to skin to vomit moment. Really a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing.
I'm so sorry. What is wrong with me? I swear I'm not drunk.
All right. Would you like to choose a category
You know what?
for our last round here?
Do something sweet. I've been a little gross. Let's do story time.
All right. Story time. All right. Well, for many people, one of the hardest things when you become a parent is maintaining that sense of self, remembering who you are and then maintaining it. What do you do to stay authentically you through it all?
I'm sorry I don't have a really long story for this. It's really a piece of advice that my mother gave my wife and I, and it was, I don't know where my mom. It's just an adage. My mother. We were complaining about something that the kids were doing and all this stuff, and they were young, and my mother's from a small country called Jersey City, so I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm going to speak in her native dialect. If anyone is offended by that, tough shit. But my mother said to us, just remember, those babies entered into your world. You didn't enter into those babies' world. And that really, like, it really, like, sort of struck my wife and I. Like, yeah, they came into our world, you know? I mean, it's our world. Repercussions for throwing up on me 3 times. And that's something I really think about a lot. The end.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, to end, we're going to kick off a bonus round. So it's a kind of rapid fire questions kind of situation. So, sorry, we're going to start with you, and then we're going to go around. Finish this nursery rhyme. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her
Eating her. Better be by heart, because that's why we're all here. Ain't gonna say anything else. Eating her by heart, because that's why we're here.
All right, Allison. Question for you. Around what age do babies recognize themselves when they look in the mirror?
Super early. Whisper my baby. Let's go with 5 months.
It's 18 to 24 months. That is a very hard one.
I question that.
Oh, you questioned that. Okay.
What is it?
I like it. You want to see the data. I respect that about you.
It is a little different here in Los Angeles. Children here in Los Angeles start looking in the mirror and taking selfies at about 3.
Exactly.
It's true. It's true. We are a different breed here in Los Angeles. All right, Jamie.
Yes.
Baba Black Sheep and Twinkle Twinkle share the same tune with 2 other children's songs. What are they?
Dang it. I don't know.
We gotta work on our nursery rhymes here.
No, it's not. Oh yeah, A. Oh yeah, that's right. Thanks, babe. A B C D.
Yes.
Twinkle twinkle. Mama. And the spider and the no? Is it the spider song? No. Sorry. Okay, I don't know.
What is it?
Is it really?
Row, row, row your boat.
Oh.
Yeah. Woo!
Good job.
All right, Bryan, take us home with this one.
All right.
So, true or false? Babies can breathe and swallow at the same time.
False.
Have you ever tried to breathe and swallow at the same time? Babies can do it,
Oh.
but after 7 months, we can no longer
Okay, so I'm kind of right and wrong.
do it. It's a secret power of babies.
Really?
So, yes,
Huh.
yes,
The more you know.
yes. All right, so thank you, everyone. That ends. Because we didn't actually keep score, you're all winners. And your prize is that you get a night without children. So have fun. If you want to sleep, there are comfy couches in the back. So these are all prizes for you. Thank you so much. And this was fun. And I just think when we get real about parenthood and what a shit show it is, it all makes us feel better about the challenges of feeding and new parenthood. And so thank you for all your honesty and all the behind the scenes on parenthood.
And you were very good up here. You were terrific. Real help.